Okay, home workout. A lot of people have said some of the things that we've been advising, partner workouts, family workouts are all great, but they're home alone. And so apologies that I haven't totally catered for that yet. I've just been trying to keep the family environment good, I think. So anyway, I've done some homework, and here is a home workout that I'm going to share with you. And before we start, I suggest you need some ingredients. So buy ingredients. Some ingredients. So buy ingredients, just general household items, and using what you have to the best of your ability. First thing I'm going to say, and hugely mean this, is if I'm advising you to grab hold of something and loop it around something to do an exercise, please don't put it around a door that's going to come off its hinges. Please don't put it around a banister that will crack when you pull on it. I don't know how strong your house is or where you're staying or what facilities you have. So if you think you're going to injure yourself or you think you're going to damage your property, then don't do it. Most of the stuff we can do without any equipment, but I'm just putting a little bit extra in just to challenge you a little bit more if you think you need it. So as you can see, we've got some books here. It's your kind of workout, isn't it? Sit down and have a read. Yeah. And we've got some school bag. And then the books you could have, you could even have cartons of milk, water, tins of stuff, things like that. Generally anything that's going to add a little bit of weight to some of the exercises. Okay. Other things I've suggested is if you have a towel, maybe some sheets, or a belt, a chair, and some steps. And if you haven't got any of this, don't panic, because if you can't do everything, at least you can do something, because something is always better than nothing. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Okay. So you're warmed up, mobilised, got a bit of stretching. If you've looked at some of my other videos or trained with me before, you'd have seen plenty of examples of that. But if you start, give me a shout. So what we've gone straight into is skipping. So I suggest you know your fitness level of activity. So let's start nice and simple. You can do 15 seconds of each of these that come. 30 seconds if you feel a bit fitter. Most people that I do know and train with, I'm sure you're good for a minute of each. So let's say you haven't got a rope. So here we go. You jump. So you set your clock, you've got a minute, you're 30 seconds. 30 seconds or a minute's gone, next one. Star jumps. 30 seconds or a minute. Again, choose the time that challenges you, but it's manageable. After you've done your 30 seconds to a minute of this, you're going to go into what I call ice skaters. So you can hear me breathing. That's good. That's what you want. Now I'm enjoying myself, but for the sake of speeding things up, you get the idea. Next one you go straight into, we'll call these mountain climbers, alternate leg squat thrust. Try and get that knee to elbow. Try and keep that core engaged. Hips down. Drive the elbow or the knee through. 30 seconds or a minute. And you've done them 4 activities. Skip, star jump, ice skaters, mountain climbers. Give yourself whatever your work rate was. So if it was 30 seconds, give yourself 30 seconds rest. Ah, good. If it was a minute, give yourself that minute's rest. Then do it again. And you can gradually build it up. So week 1, say you're on 30 seconds, do it twice a week. Week 2, now on 35 seconds. You get it, week 3, 40 seconds, till you get up to that minute. Or do 1 set, next time try 2, next week try 3, work it that way. So you can play with them variables. You can almost tweak your rest as well if you want to. I'm ready to go again. Okay, so that's how you get started. Measure how fit you're getting. So there's some examples of getting your heart rate up, getting elevated, getting a workout happening, getting in your workout zone, your aerobic stroke anaerobic touch on that as well. Okay, so what's next? Let's do some strength work. So press ups, there's, I don't know how many different ways, I haven't counted them, but what I'm going to try and do is show you a few variations and some ways to get into press ups, particularly even if you haven't done any for a while, don't like them, find them a little bit difficult on joints, etc. and so forth. So initially I would say a basic press up for someone perhaps not feeling it in the upper body strength or not really used to doing press ups. You could start from this box position. Okay, so you're just going to get this action here with your press up happening. Okay, you can take your knees out a little bit more if you want a slightly different challenge. Personally, I don't know why I prefer this 3/4 to the box, but that's the way it is. And then ultimately we're looking for a basic press up here, so shoulders down, core engaged, glutes up nice and tight, quads up tight, down you go, chest to floor, push up. Okay, so if you were to start, I don't know where you're at in fitness, but choose, if 5's your limit, try and do perhaps 3 sets of 5, yeah? Have a break in between on a 5th one, and then gradually increase that. If you know you can do 10, go for 3 sets of 10, or stretch to 15 and 2 sets of 15. As long as you feel challenged, so long as you feel like when you get to the last one of each set, particularly that last one's tough, and perhaps you can't even finish the last one, you know you're working well. You haven't got to work that hard. It's about moving and enjoying yourself as well. So with the press ups, like I said, depending on where you are, I've shown you how some floor examples from, say, quite easy, intermediate, and then onto a standard press up. But let's say you want to take it even down a few notches, or you don't even want to go down to the floor. There's no reason why you can't. Just have a little lean away from a wall, keep your arms down, shoulders down, and just press in. Okay. So you can adjust your width of your press with your hands. I'm not going to put mine on the glass because I've just washed the windows and I'll get told off. Okay, it's part of being isolated. You get to do all them chores, don't you? So I'm keeping the glass clean and I'm having a wide grip and I'm doing my press ups in here. Let's say, for example, this is a flight of stairs. So you have stairs in your house if you're lucky. If you don't worry, you've still got enough to play with. I'm just trying to show you. And let's say you can do a bit of an angle so you can get that depth down. So I don't know what step you're on. Let's say this is step number 5. You can now press from here. So basically you haven't got as much weight going forward. You might find that a little bit easier. What I'm saying is maybe work down the stairs, if that makes sense. Okay, you haven't got to, but it's a good way of challenging yourself. Plus you're working your muscles differently as well. So it could be your stair challenge. Please remember safety. Don't start at the top step and then roll all the way down. Okay, keep it down the bottom. Keep your feet on firm ground on the floor. Okay, and then we'll look at the bottom 3 stairs here, which I've had to improvise because I haven't got any stairs. Okay. So this will be my improvisation of a bottom 3 steps. So I've worked my way down from, I don't know, stair number 6 or 5. Okay, I'm guessing a bit because I haven't got any. But yeah, I'm on to perhaps stair 4 or 3 here. So this is where I'm at. And so perhaps for 2 weeks I keep working here. Or if I want a variety in my push-ups, this is a good way to do it with the standard ones. And then perhaps the next week I go right down to stair 2. Okay, so this is step 2 for me. Okay, and I've really gone for it on this one. Okay, so then that's done, and then now I'm on my step number 1, and it's gradually getting a bit harder because I've gone down to more weight coming forward, and then eventually no stairs. So this is a TRX, so I'm quite lucky I have a TRX. Okay, and if you have one at home, perfect. I'm imagining for home workout most of you don't. This is where I said maybe you could use a post or your banister if it's strong, your newel post, or another way of doing it is if you get some it's like a sheet and tie a knot in it, and if your door will allow, you can pull the door closed on the sheet and then you could use the sheet to pull. Okay, so you have your sheet in your hands here or that way. Okay, and it's up there tied with a knot at the other end, so you're not going to go, and your door's strong, you're not going to pull your door off, you've checked that. Okay, I'm not going to leave you check that business. Same with your newel post and everything else. So if you can't do any of these, I'll show you another variation in a minute. But let's say you have strong structure house, strong staircase, whatever it is you're using, or a TRX. Okay, so we're going to go into a row action. So your row action's here, and you're going to get your body alignment so that your hips, ankles, knees, everything is in a line, shoulders, and you have your shoulders down, and then from here you're going to pull in, squeeze, keep the shoulders down, squeeze for a second. This is the same with the sheet, same with the belt that you're hanging onto, whatever you're hanging onto, and then slowly down. So you pull in, hold for a second, try and get your shoulder blade squeezed back. 1, 2, 3 out. Pull, hold for a second. 1, 2, 3 out. You can play with the tempo, you can play with the reps. You can play with the width, okay? You can play how you do that, depending on if you have a TRX or not. If you have a towel or a sheet, it'd probably be that you're using this, unless you have 2 sheets, tied it in a knot. So if you got this way, this is a good exercise too. So you can work it in here. Hold for the second, 1, 2, 3, out. Okay? So again, think about your alignment, think about keeping that core engaged, everything pulling up tight. Yeah, and if you want, pull your toes off the floor so you get some action going on the front of your shins as well. So tib anterior starts activating as well, so you're getting a little bit more muscle play all the way through. I'll show you a variation on it now. Staying with the row action, and we're going to start. Now's a good time to get our school bag in play. It doesn't have to be a rucksack, although rucksack's a bit better because it gives a bit more flexibility in terms of loading and putting it around your body. But for now, it could just be a gym bag, whatever else it is you use. And you're going to put your cartons of milk, your water, your tins, and wrap a towel around it. Make sure it's secure. You're not going to get handles breaking off the bag and all that business. Again, I'll let you check that. Okay, all your books. So I'm going to finally use all these exercise books and study notes that I finally have hanging around for ages. I'll put them to good use. Okay, so as you get the idea, you're going to load the bag. So come back in a second when my bag is full up. I think that's enough. I'll leave this one out. It's too heavy, that one. Okay, so bag is loaded. Right, so we're still staying with rowing. So a good way to get down is to get into your deadlift position. So a nice flat back. Grab the bag where you see fit. It could be handles if you wanted to. I could grab them here, come up. But I want to stay quiet. I want to stay a little bit more leaning forward. So make sure I have a grip. Just come up slightly, and then from here, it's keeping that nice strong back. Yeah, so you want to make sure your back's nice and flat, shoulders down. Just pull the bag into you. Okay. There's another rowing action you have here. All right. Of course, depends on the weight you have there, and it's not going to be as strong as or as much weight as the body weight you have. There are other variations. Perhaps I'll do them in another video, but that's just an idea, just so you can get a bit of a rowing fix. Work them muscles in the back as well as counteraction all the work you've done with the pressing action. Okay, that's that one. So some leg action. We're going to start straight in with lunges. A number of different ways to do this. So for now, we'll keep it simple. We're just going to work on one side. So you're going to get here roughly, I say about 2 shoulder widths in length. But in essence, when you go down into position, you want to make sure you have the ankle underneath this knee, and you want to have this knee under this hip. You still want to be pulling this up tight, strong here, having your shoulders back. Okay, so you're looking to get that strong position. You're also looking to get near to a right angle as you can when you go down, and then you're going to come straight back up. One way to envisage it is you have a pole going through your head, coming out your butt. Okay, and as evil as it might sound, you're going to slide up and down that pole, so you maintain that form. So you're not coming forwards and back. You're trying to just maintain that position, getting your lunges going. Okay, if you're quite familiar with lunges, your form is good, then it could be that you actually do a forward lunge, drop into lunge, come back, alternate, other leg. So you keep this action happening. Okay, so there's some variations on lunges straight away. Oh, before you go, what about this one? If your bag has handles and you've loaded it with them books, okay, promise you I didn't take them out. Okay, now you can go back and do the same exercise, but you'll feel that extra bit of weight in it, or you can do one lunge, one side, other side. That's much more fun. So you've done some lunges maybe, and you're thinking, you know what, my legs haven't worked nearly enough. So guess what I'm going to say? You didn't do enough. Maybe you rushed it, maybe your form wasn't quite good enough, maybe you could have done another set, maybe go down slower, hold for position, then come up. Maybe put another book in your bag. There's a few ideas, but just in case all that happened and your legs are still like, I need to go, how about we go and work on some squats as well? So with our squats, you can start nice and easy, and you can stay this way if this is going to be challenging enough. So you get to have a little sit down in between, yeah? Key thing with the sit down is that as soon as you sit down, try and come back up. So you don't want to be sat down going, oh, this is nice. Not really. You can if you need to, of course. But anyway, it's a good starting point for a squat, and essentially the squat is that action. So you're looking to get your knees going the same direction as toes. Hinge your butt back, yeah? So you're going to push your butt back. So from here, this is your squat. So you can do it without the seat. And then perhaps after that, a good way to build up. So you've done, I don't know, 20 squats, 3 sets, yeah? Let's say you're on that, that's roughly. Then you think, you know, I'm going to have a bit of load. So you get your back on, Okay, and then you go in, do your squatting action. Awesome. This is much more fun. Okay, so then you think, oh yeah, that was good. How can I make that a little bit more challenging? So I have good alignment, good leg strength, and I still think I need some more to work. Some of you may have gassed now, some of you may have already had a cup of tea. Yeah, some of you probably sat down and gone, oh, where's the paper? Okay, but no, for those that are still with me, you're true warriors, I like to think of you. You're now squatting and jump, squat, jump. Now what can we do just to get a little bit extra out of that? I know, let's put this back on. And then we squat, jump, squat, jump. Now we're really having fun. So if you want any more squat variations, please do contact me. But if that doesn't float your boat, you might just be a bit squat crazier than me, okay? I changed my mind. I give you a bonus one. Little front squat just for variation, okay? So, no good because my leg's now taking the load. So if you have one of these, you can put it up. What's good with this one is that perhaps for some of the squats, if you haven't got a rucksack, you've just got a gym bag, good thing is you can cuddle this one. So you give it a cuddle, get your squat action happening. Okay? So there's your front squat. And there's no reason why you couldn't jump through there. Yeah? I'll tell you what, next time you go to the supermarket, take this, and if you can jump home all the way like that, there's your workout. Yeah? Not with toilet rolls. You need something else in there, a little bit heavier. Okay, so a little bit more legs, and it just keeps getting better, doesn't it? So maybe you've heard of something called a deadlift, or safe manual lifting, as we call it. I often refer to it for those that perhaps don't hit the gym environment. Your bag is loaded with all your books, and you're going to pick them down. Not like that, okay? So you're going to squat, so you're going to get this flexion through the knees, the ankles, the hips. And from here, you're going to pick your bag up from as low as you can, keeping that flat back, pull the chest forward, and then you're going to lift up. Take it back to the floor, let it touch the floor, back up. Get your hips forwards, shoulders back and down. Okay? If you can't quite get down that low, maybe come up a little bit into the bag. Here. So if you're getting quite as low. Alternatively, you can use a little step, put it underneath the bag, and that might aid you in terms of trying to get down but still keeping that form. Okay? Here's a quick variation on this, and it's a good kick because you can add to your deadlift, so you can work it that way or add to it, but add in something else. And again, it could just be you grab your bag. So let's say you get down, you get your deadlift action, and then you have this action as well on top. Okay? So from here up, here. Personally, if you get the bag that has the handles, then you could perhaps get a little bit lower into it, and then pull from here. Okay? Or alternatively, still stay down low here. Okay, get your grab, come in, and then lift. So you can play with what height you can reach, what range you can achieve. Okay? I would have a play with that bag. Personally, I prefer to have it somewhere like here, because this one does it, and I can get this happening. So now I can get all the way down, so I can get full range of motion, and I can come all the way up, and I can get that upright row happening. So elbows up, hands down, pull the glutes up, etc. Down, and then slowly back to the floor. So if you don't want to add the row, upright row, to the deadlift, do your deadlift set first, add your rows after, and standing position. Okay? But if you do it with it, it's a variation, 2 for the price of 1, gets the heart rate elevated even more. Just keep good form. Sets and reps, remember that, and tempo. Okay? We're doing awesome. Let me think, what else can I give you? Right, so I haven't collapsed as much as I found some of that exercise challenging. But this is just a quick way to work your hamstrings, or one way. I'm just going to chuck this out. There is others, but this time this is what I'm going to show you. And I'm going to talk quickly because I am being filmed from above on a fairly rickety surface, so I don't want to see a video on YouTube, someone falling on me. Right, so what we're going to do is hamstrings. So from here you want to hook your legs over your chair, so your dining room chair or your sofa, whatever it is. Then basically imagine you're trying to hook your leg back to you, okay? So you're trying to pull your heel in towards your glute. So you have that digging down action. Up, squeeze, 1, 2, 3, then slowly down. Then pull here, 1, 2, 3. You put your hands here by the back of your legs, you'll feel your hamstrings like that, okay? So you can keep that tension all the way through, relax a little bit at the bottom if you need to, Make it a little bit harder. One leg up this way. 2, 3. Okay. This is your hamstring. So there's a big muscle here running back from the back of the knee up to the top of the hip. Okay. That's the ones you want to be working here. Okay. It's quite a closed position. So next time I show you one, we'll get a bit of length through it. Okay. That's a good way of working it. And then if you want, put your feet on the edge. Now push your feet in and then push your hips up and forwards. So yes, you'll still perhaps get a little bit of the hamstrings coming in, but you start to hit a little bit more into your glutes. This is a way of doing a bridge where you can push through and drive up. Okay, if you didn't want to do it on the floor. So you can have a little bit of hamstring, a little bit of a glute action there. Got to go because the chair is getting a bit wobbly above me. Okay, off you go. This tricep muscle at the back of the arm. Is that the one that people call the bingo wings? I don't know, but for those that know it, but I don't like that term at all really, to be honest with you, but for those that maybe know it like that, then that's maybe what we're talking about. It's a tricep, so it's the one that's helping you in your pushing and extension exercises. So for instance, helping you with your press ups. So maybe if your triceps get a little bit stronger, they could help you with a push-up action as well. Okay, but nonetheless, it's good to have that that form, that definition, and work that muscle as well. Okay, so quick way of doing it is with dips. And so from here you're going to be on your chair again, edge of your sofa. So you're going to start with having your knees bent, keep your shoulders down and just let yourself drop, okay, just to here, and keep your back close to whatever's behind you, and then push up. Try and keep the weight in your arms as much as you can, and avoid the temptation to keep it in the legs. The more you take your legs out, the more it will help with that. What normally happens when people get to this stage and they're not quite ready for it is they start firing these hips forwards and they get this rocking action happening, and yes, there's a little bit of triceps going, but it's not quite the control you want on it. So you want to make sure, or you're trying to keep a good angle at the hip so that the arms are doing all the work in the back of the arms, okay, at the top. So there's your dips. Alright, so you can add that into your arsenal of exercises as well as you go. So I'm just demoing this and I'm getting quite warm, so I imagine you've probably got a good sweat on by now. This one will calm things down a little bit. It's going to work smaller muscles, lower limb. So look at the calves, okay? So the muscles in the back of the lower part of your leg. And from here, what we're going to do is what's called calf raises. So you can use the bottom step in your house, a curb if you want to hold onto a lamppost, if you want to just venture out of your house, or any other way. Maybe just a good fat book, one of the books out of your bag, put that on there, okay? And even if you don't want to do that, you can just work this same action from the floor. Okay, I just find it works a little bit deeper because you get a little bit more flexion through the ankle, a little bit more range. Okay, so you're holding onto your banister or whatever it is, both feet on, try and get the ball of the foot on the edge of the step, and then from there you're going to push up, you hold, and then come down. Come down, I don't know, 3 seconds, push up, hold for a second, come down 3 seconds. Okay, really simple. There's loads of variations on these. Perhaps another time I'll show you in a different video, but that's the action. 12 reps, 2 rounds. That should do you very good. Alright, particularly if you're a runner who's not getting out much, it's a good way to keep them lower limbs quite prime, so they're ready for action when we can get back out there. Okay, and then I think it's just one more exercise for this week because I am actually getting a bit exhausted here. Just when you thought it was time to stretch off, we've still got some exercises left. This one's good for core. It's good for your chest, stabilizing, and you're going to get some action happening on your deltoid, rear delts, as you pull through. So it's a little bit good bit of work for shoulders as well. Okay, we've gone back to our bag with our weights in it, books, tins, whatever it is you've got in there, milk. And then what we're going to do is you're going to hit. So you can do this from a position here if you wanted to. So back into that very basic first box position, and you move this through underneath you. Okay, so you don't want to scratch your floor, so maybe put a towel under it if you have a wooden floor, if you think the bag's going to do that. Again, I'm not here to do DIY, guys, you know your houses, alright? Okay, so from here, what I suggest you do though, is if you can hit a push-up position and pull that through, so it comes in underneath the arms, yeah? Hold your position here, so not rotating, not bumming in the air, you're trying to hold that position from here, out as wide as you can, and back down, here, out as wide as you can, yeah? Back in, here, through. I promise you, this is great fun. Okay, work with reps. I don't know. Start with 5 each side, 8 each side. Depends how many books you got in there. You can get up to 12, 15 each side, holding that position true all the way. Hero. Okay, so by now, if you're feeling like, oh my god, I'm dead, then it's good, because now we're going to do dead bug, and this is a great little core one, little lower back exercise as well, because what I want you to do is really push that lower back. So from here it's like activate this. Imagine you're going to get a big punch in the tummy. So if you're going to punch in the tummy and you relax, so you tighten for it. So tighten for it is activating all the core. So from here you have your hands up straight, and let's say you're going to take your left leg out straight, that position, and you're going to take your right arm back, okay? And then as you bring them back in, change over, but you're still trying to keep that lower back pushed into the floor as much as you can, okay? So you can do it this way, or you can work straight legs, and then from here work this way. Try and do the same number on both sides. I don't want you walking around in a funny angle because you're a bit lopsided where you've just done more one than the other, okay? So try and do the same on both sides and enjoy that action. Don't rush it, take your time. Remember, you've got a bent leg version as well, so you can play with that and decide which one challenges you the most, which one you find easiest. Okay, I've heard mixed reports, to be honest. So I think that's pretty much it for this week's home workout for one person at home. And even though you're alone, we are thinking of you doing your exercises now, because you've got them all there to go for it. So go and enjoy yourself, play with the variables, like I say, do a warm up at the beginning, have a bit of a quick dynamic stretch or a short static stretch at the beginning, but at the end perhaps just do a little bit of that skipping or some star jumps, etc. 30 seconds to a minute. Do some rotations with the arms, hips, etc. so on, and then have a stretch. So the tighter muscles, hold them a bit longer, and the ones that are not so tight, perhaps just hold them for 15 seconds, and the other ones about 30 seconds. Alright, so that should be a good workout. I look forward to seeing how you get on and hearing your feedback. Alright, enjoy yourselves. Boy up. Good boy. Good boy. Yay! Oh, great core stability there, I think. Yeah, nearly full extension. Alright, Bodhi, any fitness advice? Yeah. Always have a Scooby snack ready at the end. Is that what it is? Okay, good boy.